Hello, guys, gals, and non binary pals. Thank you for joining us for another episode of GSC's Girl Pod. As you know, I am one of your hosts. I'm Candy, and I am joined by Brit and V. The trio is here. We're doing the thing. We said it was PJs because we're recording on Friday. I may have been in PJs all damn day working from home, but we're just here. We're cozy. We're vibing. How are you doing today, V?
I'm doing great. I'm absolutely in PJs because it is 11:30 at night where I am. But I'm nice and cozy. I'm not planning on going to bed anytime soon anyway, as it is a Friday. We don't have much on tomorrow, so no, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Hell yeah. And what about you, Britt? How's the cold treating you? Are you feeling a little like Elsa? The cold never bothered you anyway, or are you ready to make it to a tropical place?
Um, I was talking to you guys earlier when I said, like, we really don't have bad weather. We really I was like, the snow is really all we get. There's no bugs, there's no this, there's no that we have to deal with. So I was like, I'll take snow, but it is like single digits here. And I'm to the point where I'm like, if I don't have to go outside for the next however many days, I don't want to. I don't want to. It's that bad. It's that
No,
bad.
that is so valid. If for some reason it is a Monday and this episode did not go up on Monday, that's because whatever snowstorm my area got knocked out all of our power.
Mhm.
Because we're in for like 14 to 16 inches at the last count that they gave us, which I'm not
And it
happy
keeps
about.
going up. I swear.
It
It
does.
keeps going up.
It does. Am somewhat questioning like why did I decide to stay in New York when my family moved to Florida? Seeing this snow come, but it's been a few years since we've had snow this bad. So,
It's true.
yeah, I think the last time was about 10 years ago. Actually, like 2016 was the last time New York City shut down. And there's talk about shutting down if it's too crazy. So we'll see. V's just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with all that.
I'm not dealing with all that. We sometimes get very bad snow, but it's been a while. And nine times out, the last time we got really bad snow, I think was probably also about 10 years ago. It was
Mhm.
something called the Beast from the East. They kept calling it because everything in Scotland when we get bad weather has to have a stupid name. But I think there was like maybe I don't know what inches are. But the snow came up to like my knees, and
Mm.
I'm
Yep.
165 centimeters tall, so I don't know how much that is in inches. 5'5", I think. Um, but for one day it was a red weather warning, so they like closed things. And then the very next day, because it stopped snowing, the snow was just all over the ground. They were like,
Mhm.
we could probably open the pubs. That'd be fine. Like, so,
Priorities.
like, well, I worked from home for like 2, 3 days. There was no power outages and stuff. I don't think that's not very common here for
Oh,
bad
good.
weather. Um, so I stayed in the house for 2, 3 days, drinking emergency wine, and making cheese toasties. And then after like the third day, I was like, I have to get out of this house.
Mhm.
Even though I love my house, would happily spend 3 days in it normally. But because I was told I can't go outside, I was like, no, I have to leave.
Mhm.
I have to get out of this house. And just put my hiking boots on and just trudged to the pub. Like I was like, yay! Like
There's
I'm gonna have
always a
beers.
difference. No, there's always a difference between I am choosing to stay home and I am being told I can't leave. The second they
Yeah.
Mhm.
say the second someone says you can't leave the house is the second you're like, but I need to go somewhere. Where? I don't know. I just need to go somewhere.
I just have to not be here.
Can't stay here.
Yeah, the snow happened, I was supposed to fly to Germany for work, and I got to the train station. They preemptively cancelled all the trains,
Mm.
so I just phoned my boss and I was like, I can't get to the airport. Also, don't think the flight's going to go. Walked back via the supermarket, bought all the stuff to make as many cheese toasties as possible. Got home, checked the forecast again. It was like red weather warning starts at 3 p.m. So 2 p.m. I went to the other supermarkets right next to my house and just stocked up on loads and loads of alcohol.
Mhm.
So there was a little old lady in the queue, um, in front of me, and she was buying like thermals and blankets and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, just getting my emergency supplies in for the weather." And I just put down a basket full of clinking bottles, and I was like, "Same." Like it's like, let's go.
I don't blame you. I definitely put a big bottle of Riesling in the fridge in case, in case I'm stuck. I'm like, well, we'll start with that one and then we'll replace it with something else if we're stuck for even longer. It's fine. It's fine.
Keeps you warm. Keeps you warm.
Keeps me warm and it keeps me sane. Knowing
Yeah.
that I can't go somewhere, I'm like, this will keep me sane. This will
Have a
this will be good.
have a little like a party, like a little wine tasting or something in the flat. We did that during the pandemic. We bought me and my partner who lived here at the time, my ex-partner, we bought like a magnetic dartboard, and occasionally we would just buy in many kegs of beer, and then we would just pretend that the living room was a pub. So one person would like pretend to be the bartender, and we'd pour each other pints, and then we'd play darts. Just like we can't go anywhere. What are we going to do on
What do
Saturday?
you
It's like, oh,
yeah.
we're going to the living room pub. That's we're going to the
Oh,
bar in the living room. Like,
the the number of cases of wine that I bought during the pandemic. Not great. Not great. Hazlitt up in the Finger Lakes loved me. I got so many like koozies from them to keep like my glasses from sweating. They sent me recipes for like brownies. It was just like so much stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm ordering like you get the box of like 12 bottles of wine. I was like, I think there was a period where it was like every 2 to 3 weeks we were ordering them, and I was like, mm-hmm. I was like, "It's a flat $10 delivery for these 12 bottles, and you do a discount after every 3 bottles. I'm in." And I just kept
yeah.
ordering and ordering. I was like, "Thank you. Thank you for giving me some peace of mind." Pandemic was
What
We
else?
pandemic was
What
rough.
else you
we
do?
we didn't drink. Instead, we would watch movies and make like whole meals based off the movie. Like we
Yeah.
did it
Mm.
for all of the Star Wars. We did it for Lord of the Rings. We did it for like a couple other ones, Shrek. Um, like, and I was like, that's what kept us sane. I was like, what movie are we watching tonight? And like, I think I made like pad thai, Wookiee
Okay.
cookies, like
Yeah, that's so cool. I
um
like it.
uh just funny punny like named like drinks and food. Like that's what kept us sane.
Fair.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, can't go out for dinner.
Nope.
Might as well
Yeah.
just make it at home, make fancy dinners. Like, you know, we had like
Yeah.
a 1-year-old at the time, so we wouldn't want to go out with her anyway.
Mhm.
So
No,
It's like
that's
that's
when
we're
got
turning the
really
definitely
living
good at
room
Animal
into a
Crossing.
restaurant. Like,
I think that's when everybody got really good at Animal Crossing, because that was also the time I had to buy myself a second Switch. I was saying to you earlier that Sean got obsessed with Animal Crossing. I mean,
Mhm.
the the 2 games that came out around that time, Animal Crossing and Doom. It's like,
yeah.
well,
Both came
what are
out
you
the
gonna
same
do?
day.
Yeah,
Was it the 20th of April? I don't know why. I think it was the 20th of April.
I
But
think you're right. Yeah,
but
because I
yeah, they
think
both
it
came out.
coincided with Get High Day.
Yeah.
And then it was
But
just like,
everybody, I have Animal Crossing. I'm not even really that into stuff like that. But I was just like, what else am I
Let's
going
do
to
it.
do?
I got really good at Sims, really good at Animal Crossing.
you mean
That was
when they
the
can live lives that you can't live because there's a
Yeah.
pandemic in the air?
I mean, and it's been almost 6 years, and what am I still playing? Those 2
yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they've both put out like new stuff in those last. I mean, Sims obviously putting out more new stuff
Mhm,
because they put out packs all the time.
mhm.
But Animal Crossing with that new upgrade and new everything,
There's
especially with the
lots of stuff
Switch
they
too.
added.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of content they added. Hotel. Added a hotel.
No,
Bunch of
I
stuff.
can't go back to Animal Crossing. I can't face those villagers. They've been by themselves for so long. They're
You've
feral.
been gone for
Like,
1 year, something, 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 something.
I thought
And
you
they
forgot
counted down
about
to the
me.
minute.
you're damn right I did. Like, the
Sorry, Dark
pandemic
Souls
was also
2
the
was
first time
calling.
I no, well, the pandemic was also the first time I like not the first time I played Dark Souls, but the year that I went back to Dark Souls 1 and completed it and then became a Souls guy. Like it was like I don't have time for you, Animal Crossing. Like the meme, the Toy Story meme, just like I don't want to play with you anymore. Like and it's me just Dark Souls 2ing
Hmm.
like in the
Fair.
background.
That's
Like
that's fair. No, that's I get it. I didn't touch it because, like I said, at one point we only had one Switch. Um, and I ended up having to buy a second Switch around then because I couldn't use the Switch because it was constantly used by Sean. The island was always open. And then at that point, I think I just had such a hate for Animal Crossing because I'm like, you literally made me spend $300 so I could actually just play my own games. So I'm done with you. We're done with this. It's over. Um, but yeah, I know they just put out a whole bunch of stuff that people seem to be enjoying, which is great. And hopefully if you're enjoying this episode so far, you're following the channel because I think I actually didn't even say this all last episode like I'm probably supposed to. But make sure that you subscribe and then you also get to hear the weekly news podcast. And if that's not enough, check out gamersocialclub.ca, which is the website we write for. Lots of editorials, guides, and news reviews. If you want to hear the pillars on how we write on there, go listen to the news podcast. Harry does it every week and way better than I ever will because he's got a whole rigmarole that I'm not going to practice or try to even remotely borrow because I think I did that once on this episode and I was like, I forgot something. I give up.
I I don't even know what they are. Like,
Reviews editor is like, I don't know what they are. I
all
read
I only
everybody's
know the
reviews.
one that we have to
We have to finish the
complete games
game.
before we get to review them. That's my pillar.
That's
Everything
you.
else, I'm like, I don't know about that. Like,
That's how you
I don't
know
care
we're a
about
bunch of
that.
professional unprofessionals,
Yeah, professional and professionals. Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Unpaid professionals. We just do it because we like to.
We do it for the love of the game, literally.
Mhm.
literally. The love of the games. S. Multiple games. Multiple games. But yeah, so make sure you're following so you can hear lots of things and then any specials that we have. And by the time this one goes up, we'll also be back on Spotify. So you can listen to us on Spotify if you don't want to see our faces. So I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to see our faces, but
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah. If you're in the car or something, we could
If
be
you're in the car,
distracting. So,
this is true.
you can just listen.
Drive
It's fine.
safe.
Drive safe.
Absolutely.
Put this podcast on. These podcasts are usually about an hour and a half, so we will take you your whole ride unless you're doing a long ride. But in that case, just listen to all the backlog of episodes too. We've got
Yeah.
we've
Yeah,
got plenty
absolutely.
of
We've got
them.
loads.
We've got so many, and in every episode we talk about what we're drinking. So what are you drinking today, V?
So I have, because it's completely normal to drink coffee at almost midnight, but I have my little V mug, my little Moomin V mug, and in it I have a coffee, but instead of milk, I have Bailey's cinnamon swirl. So cinnamon swirl flavored
Ooh,
Bailey's, and it
cinnamon
tastes like
Baileys.
drinking a cup of cinnamon grahams is the cereal that we have here.
Okay,
I
yeah.
Mhm.
you guys have, is it cinnamon toast crunch or something?
Mm-hmm.
I assume
Mhm.
they're very similar, but yeah, that's what it tastes like, and it is delicious. It is very, very good.
Mm.
I think this could be the only Baileys that I am aware of that is a UK limited edition, as opposed to most of the Baileys are US limited edition. But they gave us one, and it was a good one, so I'm happy.
So I have to go out there to try this because I love me some cinnamon.
I mean,
Yes.
we're making trips out there anyway.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
So
I please with if someone was like, "I will pay for your trip to go this weekend," I'd be like, "I'm in." If it wasn't for the fact that
bet.
flights across the pond are so expensive, I'd be like, "Sure, I'll go. Whatever. It's only like
Ask
a
Addy if he'll pay for you to come to his birthday party. Like, that's next weekend. Like,
yeah, it's only like a
he won't,
5-6 hour flight. Like I'm good.
but like,
He won't, but I can ask, right? You'd be like, "Listen,
yeah.
Gonna ask to borrow his bathtub, go across the
oh,
Yeah.
ocean.
bathtub."
Get some nice cinnamon swirl Baileys. It'll be good.
You know, I don't know what's worse, the flight or the hotel. Sometimes I
It'll
think the hotels are worse.
definitely be the flight. Hotels in the UK are generally cheap. If you're coming to Scotland, we can get super cheap hotels.
Sometimes I feel like some of the flights are expensive, and it may also just be where I'm coming from that there's like so many flights, but also not as like there's a lot, but not a ton. Because sometimes I do look and I'm like, oh, what's the price of this one? Like it just out of curiosity, sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, all right, so this flight to London because I know there's a lot of routes to London. So like I try to look for what I know there's a lot of, and I'm like, oh, this one started at like 500 round trip, but now it's up to like 1,000 round trip, and I'm like, why? I'm like, it will
Mhm.
cost me so much just to get out there, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I get it, y'all don't want us visiting anymore because you hate us, but like I just want to go out there for a few days.
That's not
Yeah.
true. That's not true. We
There's
don't
never
hate.
straight flights.
From
from
you,
where I
yeah.
am to
Mhm.
anywhere. Like I usually have to fly into the city or Chicago or any of the other big hubs to get
Mhm.
anywhere. When my partner and I were long distance, like, and I would have to fly, I'd always get thrown somewhere. Like there's never a straight flight. It was always minimum 2 flights. And it was always $400. And that wasn't like
Yeah.
2014,
And that's for domestic.
2013, 2014. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's to like Dallas.
Yeah.
It's just to like Dallas. So it wasn't like anything complicated. Um,
No, it's
but
wild how expensive it is because I remember when we booked our honeymoon, it was expensive to get from here to Dublin, but then it was so cheap, and I know it's not that long of a flight, but it was so cheap to get from Dublin to London. I was like, "This is the cost of, like, a taxi." I'm like, "This is,
Yeah.
like" I was like, "This is what it would cost me to go from, like, one side of New York City to the other, and this is taking me to a different country." That is wild. I
Yeah.
was like, "Why do we pay so much?"
my partner
Yeah.
found
We pay.
$60 train tickets to get to Chicago. And I was like, so why aren't we there? Why aren't we going right now? Why aren't we there right now?
Valid.
Yeah. Why am
For
I
PAX,
still
we're
here?
taking the train.
Like,
PAX, we're taking the
Yeah.
train to Boston, and round trip, it's like 40, $50.
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is great. I don't have to worry about parking. We can drink on the train. We can unwind. Maybe I'll write something on the train. Who knows?" I did that last year. Uh, but we'll see. I wrote like one thing on the train and I was like, "Ooh, I don't like writing on the train. Makes me a little sick." But you know what doesn't make people sick? Whatever it is that Brit's drinking.
Oh yeah. I'm okay. So
I'm getting back on track.
I
See?
thought
I'm getting there.
okay. So I saw this recipe the other day and I was like, mm, I don't know. But I tried it and I actually really, really like it. It is, and it doesn't look like what it is, but it is Coke and 2 shots of espresso
Hmm,
and oat milk.
oh,
okay.
okay.
And at first I was like, no. Surprisingly, it is really good. I added vanilla.
I mean,
At first I was like, I don't know because I like them individually, but
mhm.
together
Mhm.
I don't know. But they actually play off each other really well.
I mean, okay,
That's
so as
such a lot of caffeine in one cup.
that is a lot of caffeine, but as challenges before, I've done like Pilk, which is like Pepsi and milk. Um,
You
which
can't call
sounds
it that. You
I
can't call
mean,
it that. That's vile.
that's what it's called. Well, because that's the thing. It's like people are like, "Oh, that's vile." It actually isn't that bad, right?
No, I don't care. It might not taste
And
vile, but you can't call it pilk. Like,
well,
I'm
the
sorry, you
part
can't.
people want you to
Like,
think it's vile, which I think that's why the name. But then it's like when you think about it, I'm like, that's no different. I don't know if you all have them in the overseas, but uh like the like egg creams that you might get them in like a diner. I'm like an egg cream is literally milk and soda water, right? Or seltzer, whatever it is. And so I'm
Mhm.
like, all you've done is swap that for a flavored soda and mix it with
yeah,
milk. So it makes sense to me that like that would be good because it's like the flavored soda, oat milk, and then whatever flavoring you toss in.
Mhm.
And I'm also including like the espresso and like the flavoring, although I know that also has a lot of
Yeah.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Um, but that
oh yeah.
I think that does sound like it could be really good.
It
I
it
like
it
a
just
Coke
feels like
float,
goes.
like
Yeah, it's
a Coke
dirty
with like a
soda.
scoop
Dirty
of
soda.
ice cream on
Yeah.
it, like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
like a root
Yeah.
beer
So yeah, I
float.
think that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like dirty sodas became really popular here over the last however many years.
Hmm,
Like at least over in our like my end. Like I know in like Utah and places over there, they're popular. But that like it just really became popular over here, so people are recreating them. There's like shops that are opening up that are dirty soda shops. So
interesting.
I what is a dirty soda? Like,
so it's like taking a soda and then adding whatever to it, like coconut cream to a Dr. Pepper or and cherry. Um, what else have I seen? Someone takes like ginger ale and they add things to it, like just basically not a soda straight up.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so it pops up a lot in Mormon towns, because they don't drink coffee.
Mhm.
So to get the caffeine and things like that,
Interesting.
they drink soda. So
Do
Okay.
they do like
That's good.
non-caffeinated soda with like then these additional flavorings? Because that's the thing,
yeah, they
right?
do
They
like
can't have caffeine, right? Like,
I think that's it. So they do like what is it, the caffeine-free Diet Coke and things like
okay.
that.
Mhm.
Ginger ale, orange soda, things like that. And they
Mhm.
just like if you go to like on Pinterest and search dirty sodas, there's like butt ton of recipes.
I mean, my knowledge of like Mormons comes from the Broadway musical, The Book of Mormon. So,
Mhm.
like, take what I say with a grain of salt. But for some reason, I thought it was caffeine, but it's also because I have this very
I,
vivid image of like in Spooky Mormon Hell Dream. It's like the Starbucks cup that's like dancing around while they're in hell, and I'm like, I think that's pretty like indicative of caffeine and stuff, but I'm not 100% sure. Although I freaking love that show.
It might just be coffee because when they wrote the rules, like Coke
mhm.
didn't
Didn't
exist,
exist.
and now
Yeah.
they're just like, no, it's only coffee. We can loophole. We can
We
still
can
have Coke.
loophole.
Like, don't be
Yes.
ridiculous. Like,
So it says they abstain from coffee and tea, but how they practice caffeine itself varies.
mm,
Okay,
Some people drink caffeinated sodas while avoiding coffee and tea's caffeine, while others just don't.
interesting. Okay.
so some people are like,
Yeah.
the spirit of the rule is no caffeine, so we're not going to have
Yeah.
any.
Mhm.
And other
The
people are
core
like, no,
rule
the
is
letter of the rule
hot
is no
drinks.
coffee or
Right.
tea. So I'm going to have 2 liters of Diet Pepsi.
Some take it
Watch me.
very
Like,
literally.
like
Well, I guess the rule is hot drinks that are caffeinated.
Mm,
So like tea and coffee, which, everybody interprets their book differently.
interesting.
So some
yeah.
are like, well, it says hot drink, so I can have my fridge cigarette. So
I can have my Arizona iced tea. My 99-cent Arizona iced tea. That's
it's not
interesting.
99 cents anymore.
Is it really not?
I went somewhere, it was $1.99 the other
Okay,
day.
wait. Is that what's on the can or is that what they're charging? Because I saw this
So
controversy that there were some stores that the can itself still said 99 cents, but they were charging more.
So legally, you should not be able to do that. In some
Right.
states, you should not be able to. So, my dad is since retired, but my dad used to work for a corporation that was a distributor of Arizona iced tea. And because a lot of people wanted to sell them at different prices, there were like complaints that like stop sending me stuff with 99 cents on it because I'm
Mhm.
not selling it for 99 cents and people are getting pissed. But they're like, well, it's not my fault. Like
Mm.
Arizona, I think if I'm correct, if what I remember is correct, this could be a Reddit like dream, but they were like, we are not changing the price. And maybe I'm
Mhm.
thinking of Costco and their $1.50, hot dog drink combo.
No, I think the
Um,
two of them were very like staunch on like we're
yeah,
not changing the price of things.
yeah.
Mm.
But now they have Arizona iced tea cans without the
Mm.
99 cents on them.
Now,
Mm.
legally in the UK, if it's got a price on it, then you shouldn't be able to
Mhm.
sell it for another price.
Uh,
You
Yeah.
probably find some shops that, like corner shops and stuff, that try and do it, but legally,
Mhm.
if the
Mhm.
price comes on the can, you're not supposed to
That's
sell
the
it for any
price.
higher
Yeah.
than that.
That's how it's supposed to
Like,
be here, yeah.
but
Mhm.
also we don't declare what the price is with tax on
Yes.
things.
Mhm.
All our taxes included.
I
Like,
know, I
Yeah.
love
No, they
that.
don't say that.
Ugh.
I
Mhm.
confused when I found out that like tax is not included on the price of things in shops in America. I was like baffled. I was like, do you need to
Yeah.
do maths to calculate how much your food costs
No.
in a shop?
Nobody
Like, because
does
I
math.
can't
We just
do
get
maths.
surprised at the
Like,
register. And then we're like, "Oh, those groceries are real expensive."
8%. Well, the thing is, it varies between states and it
Counties?
varies between counties in said states.
Ugh. Ugh. New York City, different cost than where I am, right? Different cost from where I am to probably where Brit is. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous. It's
And you wanna know the
absurd.
funny thing is too? So, when you buy a game on Steam, it charges you the state you live in,
Mhm.
taxes. The county you live in, taxes. Yeah,
Mhm.
because it takes your zip code.
Yep.
wait, oh, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, again, when I buy a game on Steam, it's the price it says when I put it in my cart. Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to buy a game, like a gift game for somebody out in the UK, and it actually, like, I could not buy them this game,
Mhm.
and it
Yep.
had to do with the way the taxes and stuff were. It was like, oh, the I forget exactly how they phrased it, but it was basically like, because the cost was gonna be so different, they wouldn't actually let me buy it. And I don't remember if it was, like, because of the taxes or what it was, but it was like the exchange didn't work out, and I was like, "I don't understand what this means, like, I'm just trying to gift this person a game."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh
I
my
that happened
god."
at yeah. I have a friend that lives in Finland, and we were doing, like, a co-stream, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna buy her the game because
We're
we're
doing this
playing the same
together.
game." And it refused to let me because there was a sale or something, I don't remember. So instead, I just gift card for the amount of
Mhm.
the game and sent her the gift card.
That's what I ended up doing
I was
because
like,
I was like, I don't know how else to do, like, I
"Yeah,
can't get around this at this point, like, this is absurd. It
yeah,
just literally will not let me. I'm like,
mhm,
I will pay whatever the exchange is, I will do" No, no. I was like, I give up."
mhm,
I was like, "Here's a gift card.
mhm,
I don't know what to do."
yep,
It's
yep,
absurd. So,
yeah,
I
that is
guess you've never run
mhm,
into that issue.
no, no. If I am on Steam right now, I've put something into my cart because it's on offer, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the total. It's the same total as it showed on the store page, and it just says all sales are subject to
Yep.
VAT, so value added tax, which I think is
mm,
20% value added tax on everything in the UK.
Okay.
Apart from some things that are tax free, but again, that would just they they don't say that in the supermarket. They just have the price of them, and things that are
Right.
tax free are just weird. It's like
yeah,
so it's like certain essential items are tax
mhm."
free, but in the UK, biscuits are classed as essential items. So it's like,
I mean,
Okay.
yes.
I say
but cakes
I'm with
aren't.
it.
Cakes are not essential items.
Okay,
They're a luxury item. So this is why
so
Jaffa cakes get into trouble with stuff in the UK. Like,
Mm. Okay.
here's my question here, okay?
eh,
So, would just, like, a cake that's on the shelf
yeah,
be considered a luxury? Like, and what I mean by that is it wasn't made in a special bakery, it wasn't anything, it was, like, manufactured. It would be
yeah,
considered a
no.
luxury?
If it's a
Wha
cake in a supermarket, like anywhere, that's a luxury item. There's also differences if you're in like a cafe and it's hot or cold, and whether or not you're eating in
Interesting.
or taking away. There's some tax. But again, all of that is just on the price of the item on the shelf. You
Right.
don't have to wait till you get to the till.
Here's my question. The
Mm,
price of a boxed cake, like, you have to make the cake, is that
mhm.
considered a luxury item?
Oh, I don't know. I do not
Oh.
know. I've never
Like, so,
looked into
you
that.
get, like, brownie mix or cake
Yeah,
Yeah.
mix. Is that considered a luxury item?
I'm not sure. Presumably, yes.
That's
Okay.
such
Um,
a good question.
because it's not considered essential for living, but biscuits or what American listeners would call cookies.
Mhm.
Not the savory scone things you guys have,
Mhm.
but like biscuits that you would put dunk in your tea or your coffee are considered essential for life in the
Well,
UK and
I
thus are
feel like
tax
in
free.
you
Like,
yeah, I feel like in the UK it is,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
know, because like, the same thing goes here with taxable and untaxable items, like,
Mm,
um, pre-made sandwiches and, like, anything that would be made, like, in the deli or something like that is
mhm.
considered taxable, but if you just bought, like, lunch meat
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
bread, they would be taxed differently.
Yeah, I
So,
think bread's probably tax free.
It's
Like
gotta
it
yeah.
be.
should be. Like
Yeah.
Like, based on those, like, rules, I feel like it's gotta be.
Yeah. Like, where soda's taxable this way and soda's taxable that way, like, and then when it comes to, like, what is it? Like, any sort of, like, welfare and things like that, they're
Mhm.
taxed differently too, where
Yeah.
this can be bought on it, this can't be bought on it. So,
mhm.
All these rules are absurd.
just let people fucking eat. Like,
I'm
that's
saying, like, just let me eat, let me live my life. Let me, like, enjoy a beverage here and then.
how we joke about all the time, like, "I'm old enough, I have money, I'm just gonna go
Mhm.
eat cake for breakfast." Well,
Yeah.
I'd reconsider it if I was in the fucking UK because it's tax. tax.
Maybe that's why people are healthier there though, right? Because it's like you've prioritized what is essential for living and what is not essential for living. And here it's just like, well, all that shit's gonna be taxed. So it's like I'm just gonna eat whatever I'm gonna eat then.
I'll just
Like
live
who
my life
cares?
anyway.
I'm just gonna live my
Right.
life. Freedom
Food and
or
drink for
whatever.
human consumption is usually 0 rated for tax, but some things have tax. So it's alcoholic drinks, confectionery, so like sweeties,
Mm-hmm.
and cakes, crisps and savory snacks, hot food, sports drinks, hot takeaways, ice cream, and sodas. Everything
Okay.
else you don't pay tax on it.
Brit, I think we're in the wrong country.
Yeah.
I mean, for multiple reasons, but even just hearing that, I'm like, fuck, we in the wrong
Mm-hmm.
country.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the wrong space.
Yeah.
Apparently, antiques and works of art are tax free. Apparently, these are essential for living, and I'm like, yeah, I like that.
They are
Like,
essential for living because they are
yeah,
essential for the evolution of the human race and essential
yeah.
for people's like
Antiques and
expansion
what?
of their art.
Works of art.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm,
what? Yeah, exactly what Candy said. They're essential.
mm,
Yeah.
And especially with something like antiques, you think about it like someone's not going out and getting something brand new made,
Mm-hmm.
more things to consume. It's being reused.
Yeah, you're
So why
saving
would
the
you?
planet.
So
yeah.
maybe the first time when someone purchased it, it was taxed, but why
Mm-hmm.
tax everyone else who's buying it the second, third, fourth time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We really are in the wrong space. Damn. That's it. I'm looking for a job overseas. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Yeah, come to the UK. We don't have any earthquakes. It's great. Like,
I'm done. I'm over this. I'm over it. And then I can stop drinking just regular ass Baileys and have cinnamon Baileys. Although I would
yeah,
probably devour that. You'd be like, I need some for my coffee. I'd be like, oh, it's all gone. Sorry.
it's all gone. All the cinnamon
It,
Baileys is
it'd
gone.
be like a an eggnog almost
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
at that
Oh,
point.
I love cinnamon. I love
Oh, could you
Baileys.
see that Bailey's and eggnog? Eggnog. Oh, I can
Eggnog.
speak.
Are we sure that there's nothing else in your beverage?
100%.
I'm like,
100%.
they're like, I'm
It is
drinking and Brit
Friday.
is tripping over work. I
It
mean,
is
but
Friday
it is
after a
Friday.
really long week, so
Yeah.
It is
It's
Friday
just the
after a long week.
1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Brett's brain is going too quickly. Like
1,000, that's half of my daily intake.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. I do not. Okay, let me rephrase that for the people who probably think I'm crazy. No, I do not inhale that much caffeine.
I mean, listen, I don't judge people that do. When I used to work at Dunkin'
no.
Donuts, we had people that came in and we had this one guy, he would literally order just like 6 shots of espresso. That was it. Nothing else. And I was like, mm-hmm. Okay. Pour it in 1 cup, charge him 6 shots, send him on his way. I was like,
You want to
enjoy.
know who does that?
Mm.
That's Pedro Pascal's go-to drink.
Well, I can confirm that I was not serving 6 shots of espresso to Pedro Pascal, sadly. Um, although the gentleman who did order them always left a good like $1 in the tip jar at the Dunkin' that I worked at, so that was always nice. I was like, maybe it's because I wasn't judging him for the amount of espresso that he was drinking.
Yeah, he was just like, put the espresso in the cup. It's fine. Don't look
Mhm.
at don't look at me. Don't look at me. I've got shit to do. Like,
I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, here you go, sir. Thanks so
mm,
much. Have a great day.
Oh,
enjoy.
Literally, enjoy. I'm gonna go
six,
back
six,
to doing everything else now.
6 espresso shots with extra ice.
Oh, see, this guy, no ice, no sugar, just like straight. I was like, bro. Like thinking back
In a
on it,
hot cup or a cold cup?
in the hot cup. We would literally put it in, like, the small coffee cups because, like, well, at the time, the espresso cups were, like, small, right? They were, like, these small little things. So he'd be like, "Oh, like, can you just put them in a regular coffee cup?" And at the Dunkin' that I worked at the time, there wasn't, like, milk and stuff, like, off to the side. So it was like, if you wanted milk, you had to tell us how much. He was just like, "Nope, just the espresso shots." Because I remember the first time I was like, "That's it? Nothing else? You sure?" And then every time I saw him come in, I would just because we only had one espresso machine. So if I saw him like walking up the stairs, I would start the machine early to try to get him the shot so he didn't have to wait too long, which is probably why he left the money in the tip
Yeah.
cup. But I was always like, "Yeah, I got you, no problem." But I never, I was listening and not judging before it was a phrase. I was just like, "Okay, 6 shots of espresso. Here you go. Enjoy,
Whatever
my
you need to do,
man."
man. Whatever you need to do to get through the day.
Literally,
Quad
No
plus 2.
judgment here.
like, enjoy. I ain't mad at it. You paying, you're doing your thing, you ain't hurting nobody. See ya. See you tomorrow. Hopefully that guy's still all right. I don't know. I haven't worked here in a long time. But he was always a
Mm.
nice dude. Sometimes I think about some of the people. I'm like, oh, yeah, these are always nice people. I hope they're good. I hope they're living their best life.
Hope those 6
He's
shots of
thriving.
espresso didn't
Like,
kill you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope your heart's okay. Like, I hope you're good. But yeah, sometimes the memories just be flowing back, and I'm like, am I going senile already? I might be too young for this. But
Back in my day,
yeah, I'm like, it is
this shit
2026. The world is wild. Maybe I
Yeah.
am. Maybe I'm losing it already.
No, I think you're fine. I think going senile generally has the opposite effect. Think you're not remembering shit. Like,
I don't know. My great grandmother started remembering some wild things when she was. I was like, ooh, okay. I was like, Did she really just say? Okay, she did say that. Okay, all right. So I don't know. Whatever. She lived a
yeah, if you
nice long
start
life.
remembering things that are not just people's orders from Dunkin', we'll let you know.
They'll
Like,
they'll be worried. Then we'll be worried. What I will remember to do, is think about our fantasy guest. Um,
Mhm.
segues.
I'm trying, and I realized this, maybe an episode ago or 2 episodes ago that, not that we were super off track, but I realized that we were on track for the most part, except that I had never said what I was actually drinking that episode because I totally forgot to segue back to it and I just moved along. And I was just like, da, 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 da. And then I was like, oh, wait. And then when I was editing it back afterwards, I was like, I never actually said what I was drinking, which was fine because it was one of those days where we recorded 2 episodes. So I was like, I was drinking the same damn thing. But it was like, it was just funny. I was like, oh, yeah, 2 episode days, man. I forget things.
They
But this is
blur
only one
together.
episode. Yeah, this is only a 1 episode day, so I'm not gonna forget the fantasy guest, although I almost forgot that it was my time to pick one before we started recording.
Yeah.
So I did think about one, um, and I'm gonna say that my fantasy guest that I would like to speak to, uh, is going to be a streamer. Right? So people are probably
Okay.
like, "Oh, great." But it's not just because of the streaming content. I would like to have Ludwig on the podcast if we could pick any fantasy guest, right?
Okay.
And part of that is not just because he streams games and he was big in the Smash like universe and stuff like that, like Smash tournaments, and I know that's a lot of how he, started or whatnot. But he also has off-brand games, right? And
Mhm.
they have started to do a lot of highlighting indie games, right? And they have a Steam sale showcase and an expo. And I think last year was the first secret sauce, like stream that they did, or recording where they talked about all the different games that were going to be out there. They did a showcase, right, which was really really cool. And he was the one who live streamed it and talked about the games, and there were other people that were involved in it because I know some people that he pals around with were also voice acting in some of the games that they talked about, right? But I think it's a really cool I think it's a really cool move to go from I have become this personality that I have become because I play a lot of games to now
Mhm.
being like, I am part of how we promote additional indie games and get spotlights on indie games, right? So I have something that actually gives the numbers that they had last year. So last year, which I believe was the first one, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but they had 250,000 unique views. They announced 46 games, and there were 100,000 Steam wishlist in that week after that like went up, right? So if you are an indie creator, an indie developer, right? That could be huge for you because you may be a game that it's really hard to get eyes on. And then here is this brand started by, someone who has an audience already. So, by someone who is big in the gaming scene on his own, who is now helping highlight all of that, right? So I would love to hear more about creating off brand. And I know that he has done some investments that have lost money, but he is continuing with this, right? So he could have pulled back on
Mhm.
everything and been like, I'm just going to stream and make my own money, but instead is continuing with, these other uh, things that he wants to do. And then bringing in additional creators to help showcase that because obviously it's not just his name that's attached to it at that point. If maybe he's not your streamer of choice, and I'll be honest, I actually don't watch a lot of his stuff, right? But I see him partnered with people that I do watch. So like I watch Sea Dog and I see him, with Sea Dog. So
Mm.
like I know of him more so that way. But then it's like, okay, so now they're expanding to bring more attention to some of these games. And I know we've talked about indie games a lot on this podcast. Um, so I feel like any sort of additional way of getting those games out there is amazing. So even if it's, you know, 250,000 people that watch it, right? That's easily 249,000 people that didn't know about these games,
Mhm.
right? So I think that's really cool. Um, so I want to hear that trajectory. Why the games, right? What else is he looking to do with some of these games, right? Obviously, he's voice acting in like one or two of them, right? Is that something he sees himself doing more of, right? How is he picking the games that they're putting for this showcase? Like, what's that collaboration like? Those are all the things that I would love to ask. Obviously, some of the streaming questions too. Cool, fine, whatever. Um, but really, like as he digs into the indie games, because it's not indie games that plummeted him to or that brought him to the level that he's at now, but now there's this love shown back to them. So I think it'd be really interesting to speak to him about some of that. Um, but that is my fantasy guest pick.
Yeah. I'd really like to ask about some of the games they specifically choose to publish
Hmm.
because I actually saw two of their games last year, of which they've only published three, I think maybe four, if the first Rivals of Aether was
Mm-hmm.
actually published by them before it got taken away. But thus far on Steam, they only have two other ones other than Rivals of Aether that you can do stuff with on Steam currently. And I played both of them and spoke to the devs of both of them at Gamescom last year.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, one of which is Bonnie Bear Saves Frog Time, which is an absolute banger. Like I'm very excited for it to come out. You're a cute little bear who is dressed like a frog. I don't know why you're dressed like a frog. But you play like a um well, I suppose it's because the game that you play in it is like a little grid-based tactical game versus another character where you have to get points by choosing your frogs and making them jump over other frogs and get to the other side of the thing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a solo dev. Um, and I remember speaking to him at Gamescom and he was just super, super passionate about the game, and it was so much fun and just so charming and
I
wonderful.
think
And when it comes out, I'm very excited. Like,
I think that might be one of the ones that he's voice acting in. So clearly
oh,
there's
okay,
like a lot of attachment to that one for some reason.
yeah. Well, it is a very, very fun game, and it is also super, super charming. And it's like obviously like a massive passion project for the developer. Um, I don't want to say this incorrectly, but it's Bonte Avond, I believe, is how it was pronounced. Um,
Okay.
but it's super, super fun. Again, the team that was there were so chill, and everyone who I saw play the demo, and also me who played the demo at Gamescom, had a great time playing it. So yeah, it'd be like, okay, what made you choose this game, but also Aethermancer, which is from the guys
Mm-hmm.
behind Monster Sanctuary, which I also
Right.
got to do some hands-on with, and we did an early access review of it once it came out on Steam. Um, because it's like a roguelike creature collector with all of the charm of Monster Sanctuary. The animations are spectacular and things like that. I was like, okay, so what? These are two incredibly different games. The other game you guys have got are Rivals of Aether, which is much more, as you say, in his wheelhouse. It's a fighting game,
Yeah.
very Smash coded. Versus these two other games that you've decided that you want to publish with your new publishing arm, both of which I love. So I'm like, yeah, what's your sort of criteria here? Is it just things you vibe with?
Yeah.
Do you approach the devs, or have they approached you? And yeah, again with that, like giving back to the the rest of the indie game community with the showcases and things like that, because it's
Mhm.
some of the games that you see there are not, they're not necessarily games that you see at some of the other indie showcases. And as you say, like I love a lot of the other, I love the indie showcases particularly. I love indie games. I'm not massively, don't care that much about some of the AAA stuff that gets shown off.
Fair.
But yeah, like so many indie showcases would kill for 250,000 people watching and being highlighted by like a massive streamer to get
Yeah.
their game in front of people. So yeah, I think he would be a fun guest. We could play marbles, like for questions. Like I used to watch quite a lot of Ludwig actually. I don't really watch him that much anymore. But yeah, I do think he's a pretty good creator.
Yeah, I don't watch that much of his stuff. It's funny because it's like sometimes I'm just like sometimes I'm like it's just a lot, right? But I'm like, but that's I know that some of that is also like the personality and that's what sells and
Yeah,
especially depending on like the game he's playing or the thing that he's doing. Um, but I have to respect someone who's like, I know that games have given me this career and now I get this chance to work with games in a very different context. So I think that's really cool. I was trying to find like the full cast list for that game. I could not find the full list. But Pirate Software is also doing a voice in that Bonnie Bear Saves Frog Time. So I think that one will have a lot of like creator uh voices,
mm,
but I think for an indie game, especially one that is a solo dev, um I know that sometimes people are like, "Oh, great, like all these YouTubers and stuff are doing voices." But that also means that their audience is now aware of this indie game that maybe prior would have had no attention,
yeah,
right? So it's yes, it can be a double-edged sword if the person that's doing the voice is awful. Um But I think that's really cool that then it's like these people are putting their voice in it. And now it's like, oh, and Pirate Software is another person. I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but I respect the hell out of him for what he does too and really breaking down the games. And, um, he's got a lot to say and he's put in his time in the game industry. So fair play. Um, so I think even if people don't vibe with him, I think people respect his takes. Um, so I think there is a lot of that. Like, here's this audience that knows about this game. A solo dev, unless you get lucky, like with your mega bonks or, things like that. And think about how few get that lucky. This now brings it to another audience. And I sort of wonder if that's part of the reason it's like, yeah, we're going to do off brand games and we're going to do this showcase and we're going to do this thing and, you know, put attention on it. Cause there's a lot of really cool things happening in the indie scene.
mm.
And I think it's hard to get the attention. But then you got a
Oh yeah,
Ludwig who
absolutely.
shows up, who's like, "Hey, here's 46 games." And it's like, "That's cool."
Yeah.
Like, "Great, great." So yeah, that's my fantasy guest pick. Um, you know, I like again, I've seen some of his stuff. I think he does a lot of cool things. I'll eat hot dogs
Do you
and ice
think he
cream
would
with
do
him.
a pros versus pros with
Oh
us?
my god.
Like like girl pod version of bros versus pros. Like
You know what?
like
I think okay, here's what I think. I think if we ever got him on the podcast and there was going to be some sort of fighting game, I think we'd have to be like, "I call my champion Latalis from Gamer Social Club to go up against you."
yeah, yeah,
Because
that's her pro. That's her pro in the bros versus pros. Like
because
because
I am not it.
I used to really like the well, I still do. I just don't do it as much very often. But the pros versus bros, and it was like him and Stans, who I really like as a creator. And they would do like them playing doing speedrunning challenges in games versus actual
Mhm.
speedrunners. So it was like the three of them trying to do it, get the same as an actual speedrunner in the same time. But then I think they've also done like bros versus bros, which is
Mm.
like everyone chooses, well, they choose a game that they're good at. So and then it's like you tally it up at the end. So I reckon we could definitely do a bros versus pros. Like we get Latalis in for the fighting games. We've got Brett for Dead by Daylight. Like we've got, we
Mhm.
can make this happen. Like I can 1v1 them in Old Iron Keep in Dark Souls 2. Like we could do it. Like we just have
I'm
to
in.
pick her one game each that we are the pro at, and then we
Can
can
I
make it
just
happen.
commentate on it because I don't know that I'm that good at any like, what game am I good
You
at?
can
I'm
find
like,
one.
"Ooh, I don't know, I think I'm mediocre at all games."
No, I'm sure that's not true.
Be like, "I will play Dead by Daylight with everybody, but I'm not the one who's you're gonna be counting the points for."
Yeah, I can't be on the Dead by Daylight team. I feel like you guys would do well though. Like
I would do okay. I'm not gonna say I would do well, I did one Dead by Daylight tournament recently, and I realized that I'm okay, but my goodness, there are some pros, and it ain't me.
I know it's
It
Brett.
I'm
She's right here.
I am not a pro by any means. Let me tell you, okay? Let me tell you. I've been playing, okay, a lot lately, and I took a 2-year hiatus from playing.
Mm.
I just couldn't do it anymore. It made me too angry, and I don't get angry at games. I don't rage quit games. Like, I don't. But I, like, rage quit, like, 2 years ago. And someone was like, "Do you just wanna play customs? We'll just play customs. We won't play with other people." And I was like, "Fine." And now I play with someone, we play live games every night, and so, we're just working on it, but, like, I think my goal is just to go in there and fucking meme.
That's
Like,
fair,
if I can loot people with, like, a cheetah printed banana hammock ace and just make people laugh, that's what I'll do. But
but now we get the Stranger Things characters, and now I need to, like, run around as Dustin.
I I had a Steve in one of my games the other day, and there's a perk that causes him to constantly scream
Oh my god,
when
I
he
know.
and they're called Steve goals, and let me tell you, fucking annoying thing in the world. And don't get me wrong, I love Joe Keery so much. Um, but no. Mm-mm.
That perk just ain't
Ah!
it.
Ah! Ah!
That's literally what it sounds like, though. That is what it sounds like. V hasn't played enough to know, but you
I
will
have
know.
only played Dead by Daylight with the guys from the Gamer Social Club, and i- if you are part of the Gamer Social Club team or like part of the Discord who is watching this and has played, you will be aware of the fact that I am 100% dog shit at Dead by Daylight. I never know what's going on. I never really have any idea. Like we played like 5 games in a row, and then someone was like, "Oh yeah, you can level up," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Like I don't understand.
Gotta
It's
spend those
usually,
blood points.
but it's usually after we've done like maybe at least one podcast, or we've been sitting on the Discord chatting,
For a
and I've had
while.
like a couple of glasses of wine. It's like 2 a.m. I am tired. I'm a little bit tipsy. I cannot work a quick time event for those generators to save my goddamn life. And I'm just like, what's going on? What is this? And then something will happen, and I'm like, what is that? And then someone will try and explain it. And I'm like, this makes no sense to me. I have no idea what's going
I
on.
think we were playing customs the last time I played with you,
We were
and you
playing
were playing
customs, yeah.
yeah, you were playing Meg, and I think it was, like, your first game
I
or
think it was,
second
yeah.
game.
Mhm.
You're just crouch walking around the entire fucking map.
Like,
Everywhere. Great, and it's like,
Yeah,
you
and
don't
I
have
was
to
like,
crouch, you can get up,
"Oh,
you can run, you can mhm,
is that
mhm.
bad? I don't understand.
So we're just gonna play Dead by Daylight after this recording, right?
I'm being judged. I was told this was a judgment-free zone, and I'm being judged.
No, it is a
Like-
judgment-free zone. We're just helping you get good. So we're just helping you get good. We're helping you get good, so that way when we have Ludwig on the podcast and we all play Dead by Daylight, we get all the points.
Am I gonna have to play this like off of off stream to grind to get better at it? Just be
The
like, right,
grind.
okay, like.
Trying to think, do you need to grind at Dead by Daylight to get good? I don't know that you necessarily do. I mean, there are
The question
obviously some
isn't do
perks that
you as
help, but
people. I mean, the question is, do I personally, as someone who is the smoothest brained individual you've ever seen, play it?
oh my
Like,
goodness. Says the one who has shown us all her notes from blueprints.
well, that's different. That's different. There's no time pressure. There is no.
Speaking of, we got highlight and we've got
Highlight.
maps. We've got maps. It started.
I actually haven't touched it in like a week.
I haven't either because I've had reviews to do, but like, look at this. This is just scrap paper of codes in what colors at the billiards puzzle and how many steps I took on this day and that day and how to open up things and
Mm-hmm.
it, y'all,
It's real. It's real. It's fine.
we're still doing a spoiler cast. We just got to figure out. I just got to finish the game.
We have to finish it. We have to get far enough. I haven't touched it in like a week. And I now have a game that I'll be working on the review for. Um that promises to be not exactly blueprints, but something sort of akin to blueprints with the way you have to play over and over. Um
Mhm.
so the embargo is not till February, so I can't say too much about it, but I got the key today and I'm very much looking forward to
That's
like
cool.
diving into it. Because it's funny because I was like, "Oh, I don't really have anything to review for a couple months. Like I'm just kind of chilling. Like I'll pick up things as they come if nobody else has time or whatever. I'll write some news pieces." And then I was like, "Oh, this game sounds interesting. Hold on, let me let
No.
me throw my name in the ring. Oh, this one sounds cool. Let me um because like I did the early access review for Hungry Horrors, which is a lot of fun. If you like deck building roguelikes. I would be curious for like
No.
I, you say no, but Blueprints isn't that far off from a deck building roguelike.
Mm,
Mm,
Your deck is literally your house tiles.
yeah, but it's completely
uh,
random. Well, it's
I
not
mean,
completely
hey,
random.
it's not
hey.
completely random because is that a spoiler? Um, hmm. Uh, it is random. There is RNG, but you can at some point manipulate the RNG to make things more common and make things less common. And there are other certain things that you can do to increase your chances. I guess that's as spoiler free as I can get when it comes to blueprints. But
I think that's a game mechanic. I don't think that counts too much as a spoiler.
right,
So you'll
like
be fine.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but you are still pulling from essentially a deck of rooms that you are putting down,
Yeah, but
and
you
it
don't
does
build
change
your
every
own deck.
time.
You don't build your own deck.
That's not entirely true.
Yeah, but not to the same extent you would in a
Not to the
deck
same
building
extent.
roguelike.
Yeah,
Like,
not to the same extent, but
and I like deck building roguelikes, but I
I know.
wouldn't put blueprints over there with them. I do think there's probably fucking too many of them. Like,
There
stop,
is.
stop putting cards in things that don't need cards. What are you doing? Like, I love
Mhm.
a card game. There's also different ways to do card games. Like,
Yes.
you can have you got your stack lands. You've got like stuff like Cultist Simulator. We covered a demo of a little indie title that's coming out later this month called Roots Devour, which is very
Mhm.
um Cultist Simulator coded. I'll put it that way. It's like you can use cards in really interesting ways in your game. You don't just have to be like, oh yeah, this deck building roguelike. I'm like,
Slay the Spire
okay, I
did
get
this,
it.
so let me do the same thing.
Yeah, like I get it. I get it. You want to like you want to take inspiration for things they really enjoy.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I would say that Slay the Spire is a masterpiece, and if you make your game too much like it, I am going to judge it on the same level as I would judge Slay the Spire. And
Yep.
if you are coming at the king, you best not miss. And
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, you probably have. Like, there are completely different ways that you could do this. Monster Train does it really well with
Yes.
a
Oh my god, Monster
similar
Train's so
mechanics to Slay the Spire. It feels familiar, but completely different in
good.
terms of
Mhm.
like how the game plays out. Obviously, we've got Balatro, where you're manipulating a deck that just exists. It's just a pack of cards. But
Mhm.
if I see one more game at an indie showcase that's just like that's Slay the Spire, you've just remade Slay the Spire. You don't need to do that. They're doing another one.
I was
Like,
gonna say, okay, wait, Britt, have you ever played Slay the Spire?
No, my partner has though.
Okay. I feel like you should give Slay the Spire a few runs. It's not for I'm not gonna say it's for everybody, but I feel like you should try it out. Because my follow-up question, I know you can't fully answer that right now, but
Okay.
so I guess it's a little bit for V. Do you think Slay the Spire 2 is gonna be as good? Or is it gonna just fail? Because I'm a little nervous because of how good Slay like the first Slay the Spire is. And I'm just like, how do you get better? How do you move forward? Like, what do you do?
see, so I think Slay the Spire 2 is one of those games that it probably doesn't need to change the formula
Mhm.
that it has like at all, realistically. Slay the Spire 2 just has to be more Slay the Spire. Like,
But
because the
then does it
formula
run
is
the risk of feeling like DLC?
no, I think if you do more Slay the Spire, but just so much more of it, it doesn't make sense to be DLC. Like, and obviously there'll be a slightly different story in so much as that the first one has like story and stuff. But I think if you're adding in completely different mechanics
Mhm.
that the cards do, as opposed to like my thoughts probably are like they're going to have the different characters there
Mhm.
with very different mechanical ways that they play that is so different from how they play in the first one that it wouldn't make sense as a DLC because you can use the cards from other characters' decks
Right.
as certain
Mhm.
things. So there has to be some base level of certain synergies that could work between those four characters that are there.
Mhm.
That presumably these new characters or the new mechanics and stuff they're adding wouldn't work
Wouldn't
into
work
that
with
very
those.
well.
Mhm.
Um, but also, like, if it's so big, if there's so much of it, and like just so many new characters, so many new enemies, so many new things to do, then it kind of doesn't make sense as putting it out as a DLC.
That's fair, yeah.
Personally, I don't because I don't think it's going to be unreasonably priced.
No, I don't
Um,
think so. Because even the first one's not.
no, so yeah, I think it'll be pretty much like a sort of Hades 2 situation. The gameplay will be very familiar, like very good, and it'll just be like more, but also amazing. Like
That's what
because I
I'm
don't
hoping
think they need.
for.
Yeah, I don't think they need to change it up. If they change it up too much, then it will not be like Slay the Spire, and then I'll be sad. I'll be big sad because
That's
I have
I'm really hoping
too
for
many
that.
hours in
Yeah.
Slay the Spire. There's a lot of them. There's too many,
I mean, I've bought
but
it
I love them.
twice, so
Yeah, same.
as someone who
But yeah,
has it both on her PC and on her phone, it's like, ooh, and I go through phases where I'm like, I'm not gonna touch it, and then something happens, and I'm like, well, time to play Slay the Spire again.
Mm,
yeah.
It's I mean, if you like deck builders, roguelikes, I mean, Slay the Spire is like top tier. I have not played the Slay the Spire board game, but everything that
No,
I
me
have
neither.
heard about the board game is that it's fantastic.
One of my friends, one of my friends who was like a massive Slay the Spire fan before I'd even like properly heard of Slay the Spire. Um, he loves the board game. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, I've heard it's very very good.
Yeah, and they
And
made it multiplayer, and apparently they made it work. I hope to play it at some point soon.
mhm.
Um, but Brit, I feel like you need to give Slay the Spire like a shot because I want to hear
mhm.
like I wanna hear what you would think of it, like, as even if that's not your genre, but I know this is the year that you said you were gonna try things a little outside of
I
that genre.
know, I know, but I hate deck builders. Let me tell you why.
Okay, tell me. Lay it on me.
Phase 10.
Mhm.
The
I've played
game
a little bit
Phase
of
10.
Phase 10. Mhm.
Okay, fucking hate that game. It is like a full out brawl when my family plays it. No one's nice. No one's no. It has caused arguments and stuff, and so like card games themselves give me so much fucking anxiety.
Fair.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I could be playing Go Fish with my child, and I'm like, don't hit me. I have a final pair. Yeah. So like deck builders or anything like that. Now, I've seen a lot of people play Balatro.
Mhm.
I have a lot of friends who play Balatro. It's just they just don't look like and I will admit I've played I'm trying to think what game in my thing I've played before. I forget what it's called, but it was like almost like a D&D deck builder. Um
Mm.
there is a deck builder I play at um my partner and I play. It's called Dungeon Madness.
Okay.
Um and it's basically like D&D with cards.
Mhm.
And it's like
Nice.
kind of like a deck builder.
Mhm.
That's as complicated as I'm going to get. Like just the I don't know, the more complicated a game gets, it doesn't become therapeutic to me anymore.
I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
Yeah, I
I
think that's
And
completely fair.
yeah.
and then you add roguelite on top of it and I'm like, no.
Oh, but I love me
I'll
some
play a rogue in
stereotype.
D&D, but I won't play a roguelike game because like anything like that I'm just like I
Love me some
don't
Slay the
know.
Spire. Although I will say, so it may be the timing of things, but I have played a little bit of Balatro. I shouldn't say a little bit. I've put a few hours into it. I
I just looked at your time on Balatro and my time on Balatro, Candy, and I can safely say you've played a little bit of Balatro.
I played a little bit.
Like
It was so it was gifted to me by a friend, right? Who was like, "You need to play this," and I was like, "Okay, fine." So literally, I was midstream, and Steam pops up like, "Hey, you got gifted this," and I was like, "Well, son of a bitch," because I have this thing, this like unwritten rule. Well, it's unwritten because it's not listed anywhere, but I have this unwritten rule that if someone gifts me a game, I will
Hmm.
play it at least once on stream, right?
Oh
Because I'm
damn,
like,
you should have said that. Dark Souls 2, Skull of the First Thing coming your way,
like
baby.
well, it's gotta
Like
be on Steam because I don't have anything else set up, right? But that's like I'm like, I will play it at least once, like, on stream, and that's like, because 'cause I'm like, if you were taking the time to spend your money, like, on me playing a game, I feel like I should share it with that person, whatever, right? So and he knew this, right? He's actually the person who was our DM for our D&D campaign, and I used to work with him, so we've known each other for quite some time at this point, right? So he knew so I was like, all right. So I was playing Sonic Mania, so big switch. I switched from Sonic Mania to play Balatro. So I played it the first time and I was like, okay, I kind of see the appeal. I've played it a few more times since. Only once, like it's not I will say, even though I've played it on stream once or twice, it's not a game that I feel like I can really play on stream. And I know there's plenty of people that do. But it's a game that I have a harder time streaming, which
yeah.
I think that if you are listening to this and you're ever thinking about streaming, that is something you should be really aware of. Like, there are games that you will be able to stream very easily, and there will be games that you will have to just admit to yourself that you cannot stream them. And this is one of those games that's a lot harder for me to stream if there's not like an active chat going on because I have a hard time just talking through the game. Even like I can talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, but I'm like, okay, after a while that gets a little boring. Um But so I've played it a few times. If I only have like 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll do a run or two of this game. Great. I see why people enjoy it. I don't fully understand the love of it. I'm like, the game is fine and the game is good. And then I was like, maybe the problem is that I've started playing this around the same time that I started playing Blueprints. And I'm like, all my love and affection went to Blueprints. And I'm
Yep.
like, I don't have space in my heart to love 2 games this way right now, and I'm sorry, but it's going to Blueprint. I was
No,
just like
I think that's completely fair. Like I love Balatro. I've got 245 hours in Balatro. Do not at me. I am fine. Like but I also play poker. Like I play poker with my friends. Uh,
Mhm,
just and enjoy it. And I think if you don't really have much of an enjoyment for the game of poker, then Balatro might miss you. I think
mhm,
to your point, Brett, I also completely agree that when deck builders, and I've played a lot of them, sometimes they fully overcomplicate themselves and they become
yes.
very unfun. Um, and I too would be interested to see because of that specifically what you think of Slay the Spire, because I do actually think it at its core is reasonably uncomplicated. It doesn't have like all these other random
Mhm.
things. It's very much like you get your relics, you get your cards. That's it.
That's
like,
it, yeah, they tell
um,
you what they do.
yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas I have played a lot of deck builders since then, and I'm like, what is this? What do you want from me? Like I'm so confused. Or you like they introduce like loads of movement and it's like your
Mhm.
deck does other things in different ways and the synergies are so niche. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want from me? Like
Yeah.
I'm not
See,
doing this.
I
Like
think I think that's why I like that Dungeon Madness game that my partner and I
Mm,
play. It's made by Wizards of the Coast and it has D&D like it's got Chihira and all of those like well-known D&D
Mhm.
characters in it. And each character has their own moves which are in the deck and things like that. And I enjoy that one. Um so I won't lie, I have one roguelike deck builder in my wish list. Okay?
What
It's
is
not
it?
Slay the Spire. It's called My Card is Better Than Your Card. And you craft your own cards.
okay.
Okay.
And each sticker is basically helps your card do something.
Mhm.
And so
Okay.
as you play, you get money for stickers, and then the stickers.
Oh, so it's like top trumps, but you make your card better. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that sounds fun. Actually, I would play. I'd play
It's really
that.
it's very girly. It's very girly pop.
We love
Like
girly pop. Like
at
I see nothing
first
wrong with this.
at first when I saw it, I thought it was sticky business, like very sticky business. I don't know if you guys know what
Okay,
the
yeah,
game
yeah,
Sticky Business
yeah. Mhm.
is. It's make your own sticker game,
Mhm.
which I'm also was obsessed with when that came out. Um so it gave me those vibes and I was just like, you know, so I'm it's on sale right now, 10%
Okay.
off.
Mm.
I will try it and get back to you. Not by next episode, because
'Cause we're recording that
considering
tomorrow
the
morning.
turnaround is less than 24 hours. um, I will play this and get back to you on it.
Okay,
Fair.
that sounds good.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, I
You want to give
like
us a game that you think we should play?
yeah.
Dead by Daylight.
I mean, I'm
Just
literally
one.
No,
trying to play that right
It's
let's
after.
talk
like
about
Candy. You don't have to play Dead by Daylight, but this is specifically V. You have to play Dead by Daylight. I'm not playing with you again. If you just crouch walk everywhere, it's unacceptable behavior. Like it's rude and
um
inappropriate, quite frankly.
uh
Like,
let's talk about the new game that I just reviewed for early access. Tailside Cozy
Mhm.
Cafe Sim. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. I've been watching this game since 2020, early 2024 when it was announced via Wholesome Games, that, their little thing.
And I feel like they've been
Um,
active on Twitter even longer too.
yeah, this is solo dev. This
Mhm.
is a completely solo dev, um, which they're lovely, by the way, because I had some issues with the game this past
Mhm.
week, and I reached out to them, and they were more than happy to help me fix the game. Like
Mhm.
even sending me as far as screenshots. Here, go here, here, and here. Try to see if we can fix it. Like over like 2 hours of trying to help me figure it out. In the end, it turned out being something as simple as me changing my Steam name and breaking the game.
I have
Okay.
to say,
So,
I did not realize I think I said this to you too. I did not realize at first that you had changed your Steam name, and at one point I was like, who the hell is this person like on my Steam account? And I think I might have popped up with like a Dead by Daylight or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
who the hell is this?
It's just because I like to change my name weird things for
Just
Dead by Daylight.
it was just so funny because I was like, "Who's this person?" And it was also weird because for some reason, I've gotten some random, like, Steam friend request, and I just ignore them. So then I was like, "Did I accidentally accept a weird Steam friend request from somebody?" And then I realized it was you, and I was like, "Okay, fine." But at first I was like, "Huh? What
Yeah.
did I do?"
Spoon forehead kiss was me. Yes. Um, um, but so I had changed my name because my friend changed her name to something else, and I'm, you whatever. And it broke where the saves went, broke the folder.
Ah,
So,
well, that
some
actually makes a lot
finagling
of sense
fixed
for
it,
you. Mm.
Mhm.
but I had to physically do it myself. So when I came to the developer with this, they're like, "Oh, well, I guess I know I need to go to fix before it goes live on Wednesday."
Mhm.
So they helped me, I helped them, and they're a lovely human, and they did this themselves. And I'm gonna hold this like as high as like Stardew Valley is a solo dev.
Mhm.
Now I don't think there has been as many years as the dev for Tailside put as Stardew has, but I don't want to, apples and oranges here.
Mhm.
Two different games. Um, but it's so cute. I think you guys should try it. I think you guys both would enjoy it. It's kind of the loop, like kind of a loop type of game.
Yeah.
Um, but it was so like there was no time constraints, and like
Mhm.
if you get this done, you get punished. It was just very vibey. Just making coffees for little animals, little creatures,
Yeah.
just a vibe.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about it
That
on Twitter because there are some mutual VTubers that I know that are very. I think some of them have already picked it up. I don't know if they streamed it yet, but we're very excited to play it. Um, Obviously, I'm not by Brit's definition. Not that I'm not a cozy VTuber, but I don't market myself that way, like when I'm streaming and stuff. So, because I know at one point there was like a request for like more cozy VTubers, and I did not put my name in because I was like. I don't know if cozy chaotic is what they're looking for, but I know some people have been really excited. I know that the game has already reached quite a few reviews on Steam, and it's definitely
Mhm,
like building a lot of momentum with the game.
mhm,
And I read your review, and I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. And I what I did like about the review too is I like and it's not a spin, but I like the way that the story you just told, and you also mentioned it in the review, maybe not to the same extent. Um, but you mentioned how like this issue came up and the dev was right on it, right? Because
mhm,
I think that's also a testament to developers, whether it's a single person or a team, and even more so when it is a single person, because that's a lot to take on. But I have had some games where I'm like, "This issue is happening," and I've had, like, developers respond and be like, "Hey, like, can you replicate it? Like, is there a video so we can try to figure out what's going on?" And being very responsive. And then I've had some really one big one, where basically there was, like, no response, and then they came out and said, "Yeah, we understand that this is an issue in the, like, preview build. It'll be fixed by the time the game hits live." And it's like, that sounds great, except that this is breaking the game to the point that, like,
it's
it is hard
unplayable.
for me to continue. Like, I literally
yeah.
had to change the way I was doing combat to make it through a certain point, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." Like, this should just not be a thing and to not have that sort of feedback and response. So I think it's really amazing when developers are willing to say, "Thank you so much for this, like, let's troubleshoot it. Like, let's figure out what's
Mhm,
happening." Right? Because that's a testament to the love and attention they have to a game, and
mhm,
also a testament
100%.
to the community that they are trying to build for that game.
Mhm. And they have, on the main menu, a button you push and you fill out a form if you have issues with the game. They ask like, "What day did it happen?" Like, "How much money did you have?" Yada yada, and like specifically, where is it?
Mhm.
Where can we contact you if we want to find out more information? Stuff like that. I thankfully like had the email,
Mhm.
and went right to the dev and was like, "Listen, this is what happened. I'm so sorry."
Mm.
And they're like, "Why are you sorry?" Like, um,
Mm.
but I was also like fangirling because I've watched this game from like egg to full form chicken
Mhm.
over the last 2 years. And I think I've even talked about this with Phrase was trying it out because they're a simulator junkie and like it's just such a cozy like we talk about indie games that don't get their flowers
Mhm.
Mhm.
and this is I feel like needs its flowers
Yeah.
because of just and a lot of people are like, "Well, all you do is make coffee." Okay. Like
Is that an issue?
it's
We got a problem
it's
with that?
Yeah, like
yeah. I mean, it may not be your type of game,
Mhm.
but when we break down the attentiveness of the developer and just the love behind it, the work behind it, the willingness to listen to the community,
Mhm.
that should be
Mhm.
the base for every single fucking game on the market. If you want me to pay for your game,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
and it doesn't
Um,
need to be like within 5 minutes answer my fucking email. Like
No, but
that's not what I'm
some
looking
sort
for.
of acknowledgement.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've only had
Yeah.
one game, and I won't call out the devs or anything like that. It was a relatively small title, but I had an issue, game breaking bug. Like, would have had to restart the game. I think it was like 8 or 9 hours into it, and they just did not respond to any of my correspondence. And I was a bit like, okay, I mean, I could restart this, but if I
Mhm.
get back here in 8 hours and there's the same issue,
Yeah.
then I'm going to have to then talk about the fact that there was no feedback at all.
Mhm.
The issue is still there. This is absolutely not a recommend.
Yeah.
This wasn't. It wasn't like site related stuff, but it's a bit like just an acknowledgement. Like,
Mhm.
oh, we have because I got in touch multiple times. I was like, I was really enjoying this. Like, and it is very much like nothing, no feedback, no
Yeah.
nothing, not even just a heads up to say, oh, we're aware of the issue, or we've not seen this issue before, as you say, like, how can you replicate
Mhm.
it? No
Mhm.
function to give feedback within the game either. Um, and to be honest, I don't know if it's fixed. I just did not go back to it. I was like,
That's
like,
fair.
and if anyone asked me about it, like I'm not one to, again, like I wouldn't fully call out like an indie dev at
Mhm.
all. If this happened in a AAA game, I'd be all over my blue sky, I'd be like, these guys
Oh,
suck.
let
Get
me tell
They're
wrecked.
the
you,
Like,
worst.
fucking
like
Sims. Fucking Sims will put out a fucking $40 pack and you won't be able to do half the shit in it. And then they're
Mm,
like, on to the next one
Onto the
sometimes.
yeah,
And as much
yes.
as I love the developers, because some of the developers, not the developer head,
yeah,
but
not
Mhm.
the
EA.
specific, yes,
Yeah.
specific Sims, it's
Yeah,
like, they're like, we're trying, we're trying. We hired a whole fucking team to help us do. It's like, could you have done that like 3 packs
3 pack.
ago, please?
Yes, you
Like
get
the
the
yeah,
freaking wedding
fix.
pack.
You get the fix for a pack like 2 packs later.
yeah.
It's never like, "Here's the patch to fix this pack that we just put out."
Hmm.
It's like 2 packs later, "Oh, by the way, remember that bug from this other pack? We fixed it." But then I messaged Brit about this the other day too, because I was like, "Fuck me, they're putting out like a royalty pack." And I loved The Sims Medieval, right? And I'm like, "I know I'm gonna buy this stupid royalty pack to like, create whatever." And they had a castles pack before, and I'm like, "I'm gonna," like, I didn't buy it before, but I'm like, "Well, now that you're doing this royalty pack, of course I'm gonna buy that one too," right? But
Because
but
otherwise, where my royalty gonna live?
where's my
Damn.
royalty gonna live, right? We don't have royalty in America. I have to live out my dreams elsewhere, and that elsewhere is The Sims. Um, but, like, I just I always feel like it's like they put out a pack and 2 packs later other things are fixed, and I'm like, "Why do you do this?" But then that new pack that you just put out breaks something maybe from, like, 5 packs ago, and I'm just like, "So you fixed something 2 packs ago to break something 5 packs ago. What is happening?" Like, why?
My favorite was like they put out a wedding pack. And you couldn't even fucking walk. They made it like you could walk down the aisle and you can like blah blah blah. Your whole bridal party can walk down the aisle. I was like, bitch, where?
I have yet to have a whole
Bitch,
bridal
where?
party walk
Bitch,
down.
where? I want to live my queer wedding dreams,
Nope.
and I can't even fucking do that. No,
Yep. And that's not because and it's not because they're anti-LGBTQ or anything like that. It's just
no,
because the
no
but like
one
the
can walk
bugs.
down the aisle.
Nobody can do
Yeah.
it. Nobody walks down. No, like you'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to have them walk down the aisle." No, suddenly the groom or the bride is walking from like the
He's
back
eating
end
cake.
somewhere. Is like showing up all of a sudden, or like you're like, oh, we're gonna have them get married under this arch, but yet they're doing vows like in the middle of the park instead of
Hmm.
under the arch. It's like, what is happening in this game?
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta give
The
your
group.
devs time to do things correctly.
I
Like,
Yeah.
literally at this point I barely set up the weddings. I'm just like, you know what? Exchange vows at home. I don't care. You're
Yep.
eloping. I don't care. I can't be bothered with
Freaking
this.
yes. 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 Yes.
I
100%.
can't do this.
100%. I wish I did that in real life too. But, you know,
I threw a hell of a party, so I can't be mad. Can't be mad.
um but I feel like it's just a testament to some of these, and I don't want to compare, you can't compare AAA
Hmm.
to indie in the sense of like the hands on deck,
Yeah.
but at the same time solo dev can do it.
Hmm.
yeah.
And you have extra hands, what's keeping you from at least addressing the situation?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys have
100%.
got community managers, and you've got,
Mhm.
and again, I think community managers are great, and I would not send hate in a community manager's direction
Hmm.
unless they were an absolute ball on social media. Like, but this is presumably what community managers are supposed to do, is to
Yeah.
address concerns from the community and say, just
Hmm.
say we're aware of this. Like,
We're
you don't have to,
yes.
like, it's just like, we're aware, we hear you talk about this.
Mhm.
But obviously, when it comes to big
I mean,
publishers
Mhm.
Gamer
like
Social
EA,
Club has an amazing community manager. We love you,
if you
Phrase.
have complaints, you can let Phrase know, and he will tell
Yes.
you that he's addressing it, and he will be addressing it, and it'll probably be like, you guys can't do this. Stop. You guys have to stop. Like, please, guys, you have to stop. Like, and we might stop. We
We might
might not
maybe.
also.
I might be like, "Don't tell me what to do, phrase. I'm the Discord guru. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna do this thing on Discord and you can't stop me."
Yeah.
No, yeah,
I'll check out. I really enjoyed the what are the games? The coffee talk games. I think they're great.
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
really like
Oh
them.
yeah, love those
Little visual
games.
novels.
I actually
So
haven't
I'll
played
I'll
one yet.
I'll definitely check out Tailside Cozy Cafe Sim, because I actually really
Yeah.
like games where you get to make like mixed drinks or like
Yeah.
recipes and stuff. I just find them
Mhm.
Yeah.
super, like, yeah, super fun. So
And
I'll
it can be as
definitely check
simple
it
as complicated as you want, in the sense
out.
of like when you start out, you're just making 2 to 3 drinks that
Mhm.
Yeah.
have milk and espresso in them, just done different ways. But as you like progress, you can like open up honey lavender lattes and hot
Mm.
cocoa and matcha, and then there's just talk like the roadmap that they have set out is like community run. Like they're like, what more does the community want to see? Because we want to put it out there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, um, as someone who loves making fun drinks, I want the ability to just make whatever the I want.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's fair. I did a not to fully go back to the roguelike deck builders, but I did a
mhm,
early access of Hungry Horrors, and it's two people, but also with taking a lot of feedback from the community in their Discord server, right? And a lot of it is, and I'd be curious, for you to see some of the cards and stuff, V, because they take a lot from like they say Irish and like British folklore and things like that, but some of it I'm like, I don't know that this is some of it I feel like is general Celtic and whatnot, but it's like
Mhm.
the food and the monsters and all these things that are in it, which is kind of fun because I literally had to look up some of the monsters that were in it because I was like, I've never heard of this in my life, right? And
Mhm.
they're like British and Irish. I'm like, these words seem more like Welsh words. Like I don't know. There's a lot of just like
Well, technically, Wales is in Britain,
It is in Britain,
so
but I was just like, there's a lot
eh,
of I'm like, this doesn't seem like the traditional British, right? This seems like much
but if
more
you're
like
doing
rooted in like older mythology.
yeah,
Um
if you're doing Irish and like a lot of Scottish, Celtic, then if there's words that you're like, this doesn't seem like a word, they're probably Irish, Gaelic, or Scottish, Gaelic. And then there will be things that are just like potentially Scots or slang. But you would have to send them through to me, and I'll be able to say potentially
I was
if
like,
it's just
I was looking at some of it and
like
I was like, there's too many consonants here and not enough vowels. I don't know what's happening here. Um,
see, that could definitely be Irish, but it could also be Welsh,
it could
and it
also be
could be
Welsh. It could be
it could be
Gaelic.
Scottish. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're different. Scottish and Irish, Gaelic, Gaelic
Mm-hmm.
are different languages. Both lovely languages, and we should be as is Welsh, and we should be trying harder to make sure that they don't die out.
A hundred
Like,
percent. And I think that's what was interesting about this game that I was like, here's all these things. And again, I'm not in that culture, right?
mm,
But I was like, here's all these really cool creatures and things that they are incorporating from this sort of like lexicon. And then the meals, right? Because the whole thing is here are these monsters, and instead of fighting them, you're feeding them, right?
yeah,
Mm.
So you're feeding them meals. It's when I say it out loud, it sounds kind of silly, but it's fun. Um, because you're like a princess that wakes up and you're like, "Where's my prince and why won't he save me?" And he doesn't save you, so you have to save yourself. And you're going through these
yeah,
areas, right? And when you see these monsters, instead of fighting them, you're feeding them things so that they don't attack you. Um, but you know, it's two devs that have done a lot of their research and have put in these different um creatures and monsters and then these different meals, and you can make the different meals, and you can do all these things, and you can read about the meals, which is cool. You can read about the history of the
mhm,
monsters, like you so it's like also sort of educational, which I am realizing that I like that small tiny bit of education in my games, right? Doesn't
Or
need to be a
lore of
ton.
some sort.
Lore of some sort of background. Like I have played not a deck builder game and not a roguelike, but a game called Pancito Merge, um, which was a like a
Oh,
Latin
I saw
American
I
developer.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like a match and merge game, and you can sell the things, but if you want to read about the different types of bread and the cookies and stuff like that, you can read
Mhm.
about them, right? And I'm like, that is really cool, right? Even
Yep.
as, I'm Puerto Rican, so I don't know all the different sorts of Mexican breads and things like that, right? So I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard of some of these. I didn't know the background, or I didn't know why it's shaped this way, or I didn't know this thing." And then with Hungry Horrors, it's very similar where it's like, "Here's this background on this monster. Here's this here." And I was like, "This is a cool way of sharing culture, sharing background, sharing whatever it is," right? And some of this is coming from 1 or 2 devs, which means they're doing their research, they're putting in the work, and then they're taking
yeah.
community feedback on top of that. Like, that
Mhm.
is huge. That is
I
massive. What an
I
undertaking.
think sometimes in games, especially when you see smaller devs, they're putting the representation they want to see in
Mhm,
games too.
mhm,
Yeah.
Like, there's I have played a lot of games that like you're talking about where they're like very lore heavy, very like
mhm,
um cultural heavy, like Gaucho in the Grassland.
mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
That was a very cute one, but it also had a lot of lore and a lot of the culture behind that.
Yep.
Another one was it was I'm trying to think. It was one of the first games that I ever played for a gamer social club that was ever handed to me. And I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was an Indian-based developer,
Mhm.
The Palace on the Hill. Um, and it was
Mm,
an Indian-based developer. Um, just what was like growing up in India in the 90s. And along with the artwork, there was just so much lore about religion and things like that. And it was just
mhm.
so interesting. And to have that as a game was just like I wanted to keep going because it was just like tiny morsels that I was like, I just want to know more. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like personally that is how my child learns as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember,
oh,
what
go
was it?
ahead.
I played Vemba, and it's
Mhm.
like the
Love that
Indian
game.
game where you're
Mhm.
cooking food, but it's part of
Oh,
the immigrant experience, but also part of
yes.
like the traditional Indian culture. And I thought that was an
Oh,
amazing game.
oh.
I'm super excited for the second Raji game as well, because I played the
Mm.
first one, which again is like so steeped in Indian culture. I have
Mhm.
just bought Tailside and Hungry Horrors. Does Hungry Horrors have haggis in it? I must ask.
I believe
I
it
guess.
does. I'd have to go back and open it up, but I believe haggis is there.
Okay, so I will play it on Sunday because that is Burns Night in Scotland where we all eat haggis. Um,
Okay. So
like,
I've been to Burns Night before.
yeah.
Had Iron Brew, had
Mhm.
haggis, which that's a one and done for me personally. Um, but uh yeah, I'm looking at this game right here, the Hungry Horrors. First of all, this is not the animation style that I was assuming that it
Mhm.
was.
Mhm.
It's really
It's
adorable.
so cute.
It's really adorable.
It's so cute. You can pet the cat, which is very important to me.
That's
You
very
are
important
allowed
to
to
Oh,
pet the
me.
yes,
cat.
that is very important in a game.
Mhm.
Isn't
Um,
there another reviewer that says like, "Can you pet the cat?" Or
There's
does
a
is
site I
is
think
there's a
that has it,
site,
or
yeah.
no, it's a Steam curated list I think actually. So is it Steam
yeah.
creator? Probably it could be both, but it's like, can you pet the cat? And it'll just say yes or no underneath the game
That's
on their
it.
list. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah, you can pet, the cat's name is Lady Catherine. If you've
nice.
ever wanted to see if you've ever wanted to see, Merlin not be as esteemed as he always seems to be in folklore, you also get that in this game,
Okay.
which is really interesting. But no, I mean, the art is is definitely cuter than I expected it to be. Even when you're seeing the monsters, there's
Mhm.
there's one monster, I forget the name, but every time I saw it, and I don't think I put this in the review because I was like, depending on who's reading this, they're gonna have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Um, there's one monster that every time I see him, I'm like, who let Fabio into the game? Because it's just like long blonde hair and like, I mean, the thing's got a hat on or whatever. But it's so funny because I always think that, and then I was like, if somebody my age reads this, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. Someone younger than me reads it, gonna be like, "Who the hell is Fabio?" And I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, send me the retirement home now." But I
Mhm.
thought about it.
It gives me Castle Crasher vibes, if that makes sense.
Like the
Mhm.
art style or
Just the type of game it is, except for like the cards.
Mhm.
Like it just kind of gives me that flash animation,
Okay.
Castle
Yeah.
Crasher-esque type vibe. And I love me some Castle
I haven't played
Crashers.
Castle Crashers in a
Um,
long time.
oh, they recently put out a DLC for that, right?
Yep. Yep,
Mhm.
after
I
all this
haven't
time.
yeah, I know. Since you can't even flash animate anymore
Mhm.
as someone
Yeah.
who went and got their degree
Oh,
in flash
no.
animation. Well, that was a focus in my degree, but you can't even do it anymore. Um, but like that's a nostalgic game for me.
Fair.
So I think that's why I like it so much. It just gives that type of
Yeah.
The vibes.
The
The
yeah.
vibes.
vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
valid. Yeah, no, Hungry Hearts was a lot of fun. There were definitely some runs that I was like, this is awful. And then there were runs that I was like, oh no, wait, this is great. Again, it's a deck builder roguelike, right? So
Yeah.
and it's still in early access, so there's four or five areas that you can explore, and then you basically get a good chunk of Act One. Um, and they plan on keeping it in early access for a bit as they grow and build. Um, but it was a lot of fun. And again, it's like 2 devs, right? And it's like
Mm,
2 devs. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of history, which I think is really cool, right? And I know we've talked about this on the podcast before, so we won't go crazy into it, but I think it's amazing that there can be this cultural exchange and a level of awareness through games, um, which is why sometimes it is really heartbreaking when the wrong people get wind of a game,
Oh yeah.
or like, try to destroy what a game is doing. And I don't think we were, no, I know I'm like 99.9% sure that we did not report on this at Gamer Social Club, because there was a lot of stuff that was like going on that I don't fully know all the details. But there was a game that received a few awards and was talked about with Microsoft and things like that called Take Us North. And Take Us North was about like an immigrant journey. Um, and I believe there was some content in the game that I did not play the game, but there was some content in it that may or may not have alluded to the fact that the people who have made it north did not come through in the most legal way, right? But they were trying to escape like persecution, and they were trying to escape all these things. And unfortunately, there were lots of awful people on social media that got wind of the game and said really awful things about this game, right? Um, and since then, they have taken down a lot of their like social media presence. They had a Kickstarter that I think they took down because they were just getting inundated with comments that were so negative, right? And it's like, but this is a facet of reality for people, right? Like, this is something that people are trying to build a better life, right? This is something that people are trying to do. And, for some of these people, right, and I'm gonna try not to get too political here, but for some of these people, right, they are young children who are brought into this world, right, and don't even know that they're breaking a law or committing a crime or whatever, right, because they are a child and they're just following their parents, right, and the reason I'm saying I'm trying not to get political because there's obviously stuff happening in the US right now that is, um, unfortunately in line with some of this. Um, and I think it's such a shame that there are games that could tell amazing stories and give insights that don't get the opportunity to do that because of a collective of people that then are like, well, this is just saying how, they're breaking the law, and this is just saying how they're, sneaking in here illegally, and this is just saying this and whatever, right? Where I feel like these are stories that need to be told, right? These are ways for us to understand the human experience that is not ours, right? Because our experience is always going to be different than somebody else. Um, and if you don't see me on podcast episodes in the future, that's probably because they took me away and locked me up somewhere because I say these things too much. But like these are stories that can be very powerful, right? So like a Venba, um, and these others that are giving some insight. Um, and it's indie devs that are doing this, right? It's indie devs that are taking the risk on these stories, that are taking the risk to do this. Um, and I hope we get more of that. And I hope we get more of that cultural exchange and dialogue. And I hope that there is not the fuck it, I'm gonna say his name. I hope there's not the Asmongold's that are coming out here and being like, you know, I'm a racist asshole and I have unfortunately I have an audience of people that listen to me and then attack
Yeah.
devs who do things like this. Right. So I think it's great that we continue to support indies and continue to support their messages. And I hope that more people will do that in a positive way and not these assholes with an audience because maybe once upon a time they played World of Warcraft.
Yeah. No, absolutely. They're also the same people that it's like if they say something that you don't agree with, they're like, you don't need to look at it, you don't need to scroll, you don't need to engage.
Yeah.
Okay, you fucking don't. Why is your opinion important?
Why
Like,
is yours
it's not.
important? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
why is your opinion important, but are other people's opinions that disagree with you are not important?
Yeah.
Like, you can also just not cover things that you don't vibe with or you don't agree with
Mm-hmm.
because not everything is propaganda. Art is political, and if video games are art, then you can have political video games and you don't have to fucking agree with the message for it to
100%.
still be a good game. I would so happen to agree with the messages in most of the games that we are discussing, if not all of them, but at the same time, it's like, okay, just go back to playing fucking COD or something then, man. I don't know. Like, and I don't even hate COD. Like, I love me some original Modern Warfare. Like, I played Black Ops 6. It was kind of weird, but I love me some zombies. But if you don't have if you don't have anything positive to put into the space, then fuck off. Like,
Mhm.
quite frankly, like, like
Yeah. No,
sitting in your room covered in cockroaches. Why would I take your opinion seriously, man?
ugh.
Get a life. Like, like,
No, 110%. So I'm just looking. It looks like they are still. So the
Mhm.
project is still on Kickstarter. They haven't said much recently, and I understand because for a while they said anything, and it was met with a lot of criticism. Um, it looks like some comments have been taken down by Kickstarter, which for the best. Um, but then there are some comments that are like, this game was made by propaganda for illegals to do this thing. Like, and it's like, all right, like, come on. Like, so,
do you know what the word propaganda means? Would be my first question there. Like, this is like this is what, so any art you disagree with is propaganda? Like,
mhm.
do you just not know what propaganda means? Like, I know you don't, but like
So
you
yeah,
could
some
look it up.
comments were taken down, but not all of them, it
You
seems.
could
So
ask Grok to explain it to you because you have no concept of thinking for yourself. Like,
imagine
we're
being
gonna get
able to
mad at
think
the
for
end of the
yourself.
podcast. We get mad at the end of the
I know, I
podcast.
know. I
Like,
probably should have brought it up earlier, but it's just as the tangents go, it made me think about it. But um, as we talked about all these games with different cultures and history, and I hope they still put out their game, and I hope they tell the story, right? I hope they,
Mhm.
because I do think it is a story. I do think it's a story that should be told, right? Um, who knows? Maybe it would actually give people some heart, some like, oh, this is like a real legit thing, right? Like, and I don't know. I hope they tell the story. I think it's as important, if not more important. I'm going to say more important, but I know that certain things reach a different audience, right? Um, it's as important of like a story to tell in the way that Life is Strange 2 told a story, right? And Life is Strange 2 is a game, and I know there's a new Life is Strange, and maybe we'll talk about it on a future episode of the podcast. Life is Strange 2, I think, is still the best Life is Strange game that was put out. But I think it also hit me in a way that I don't think I've been that emotional at a game in a long time. It made me angry. It made me sad. It made me cry. It made me it made me rage. It made me feel pride for like who I am and who my family is and in all these weird sorts of ways. And I think some of these other games probably do that for other people if they get the chance to tell their story. And I think that is what art should do if we allow it to. But um yeah. Even like I'm thinking about Life is Strange 2 now and I'm like, ooh, I could feel like the tears like welling up in my eyes because of some of those scenes where I literally was like, well, now I just want to go out and punch a fucking Nazi. Like,
as we all should. It's your moral, and you're morally obligated to punch a Nazi if you find one. Like,
I'm like, ooh, now I just want to, whatever. So again, if episodes of the podcast don't make it up where you see that suddenly I'm missing, they've got me. They've come for me.
we
They've
won't
they've taken me.
we won't let that happen. We won't let that happen. Like,
They're knocking on doors. They're like, ooh, you talk too much. You say things that we don't agree with. You gotta go. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I got my papers, I swear.
you guys need to come over here. You
I
guys need
know.
to come over here.
I
Like,
listen. I just need a job and a place to stay. Well, I guess Sean and Leo do too. But that's the thing. I can't. It can't just be me. I guess gotta look out for him too. Gotta look
are you
out for
talking
him.
about the cat? Are you talking about Leo specifically? I gotta look out
Talking
for him
about
too.
both.
Leo, the cat. Like, Sean can look after himself. He's an adult. Like,
He'll be all right. No,
no,
yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, maybe next episode we'll talk about thoughts on Life is Strange if y'all have played them. Um, I have controversial thoughts. Well, I say controversial. I know that there are people that really disagree with my thoughts on Life is Strange. Um, and I have thoughts
One or
about
two or both.
one, like two. Oh, here's the okay. If you disagree with me on two, you're probably a fucking racist, and I don't want to talk to you anyway. Right? Like just just
I
point
haven't played
blank.
it. I've not played it. Like,
Um,
I haven't played 2, I've played 1.
I've played
so
one. I think my takes on Life is Strange ones are pretty controversial. I've also played the newest one, the Bloomin' Rage.
I haven't played
Um,
Bloom and Rage yet. Yeah,
but yeah. But no,
yeah.
I think my thoughts on the first one are probably not aligned with the majority of people who played it.
Mine are not aligned with the majority because uh if you
We have to
eat
save it till next episode. We
I
have to save
know,
it till
I
next
know.
episode.
It's not aligned with the majority and I have strong thoughts about how I think things. And I said this on stream. I guess I should probably find it just to be like, look, I said this. I have thoughts about or no, maybe I said it in a Discord, so I have it timestamped. Um about how I think the next one's going to go. Right?
Mhm.
So I told somebody, I was like, this is what I think they're gonna do, and if I'm right, I need them to hire me to write the next like sort of game in this sort of genre. Um, I think everybody should play Life is Strange too. It also came out at a time where there was a lot of racial tensions. Um, the basic premise is that it's two brothers, and the younger brother has powers. And the father dies, and these two brothers are on the run, and the older brother is trying to take care of the younger brother. Um, but there are racial things that come up. There are just like care issues, and the way the younger brother manifests himself is very dependent on the choices that you make as the older brother. Which is really interesting. So like I've seen some people play it and like the younger brother looks completely different than the one that I had in my game because of the choices that they made. Um and I think it hit me really hard because I am an older sister and for a good chunk of like my life and growing up, I had to take care of my younger sister because both my parents are working parents. They could not be home with us. So it was like I had to make sure I came home after school so that I could take care of her, make sure she was good. So there's sort of that level of things. Um, the relationship between the two is really interesting. Um, so it felt very, and then of course, like, the characters in the game are half Mexican and half white. I don't know if they actually say what, like, if it's Irish or Italian or whatever. Um, but because of that, there are racial tensions and things that come up, right? And even though the boys are citizens, I don't remember if the father fully was. So there's a lot of things that come up, and there's one scene in particular, um, and it was just a lot, and I was, like, shaking as the scene was going on. So I do think everybody should play Life is Strange too, but I think it is the most emotional out of all of them, right? Because of what it deals with, um, and because of how you choose to play as the older brother. Um, but some of it can be very hard to stomach. That's what I'll say. It can be very difficult. Um, but I think especially in 2026, unfortunately, it is well worth a play. I think it was one of those games that came out that unfortunately because of the episodic release, not a lot of people played it because it was like, here's a chapter, and then the next chapter comes out like 3 months later.
Hmm.
But now that it's all collected, I think people should give it a shot if you can stomach some really difficult topics. Um, I know we sometimes do game recs on this and sometimes we don't. That'll be my game rec for today. If you can deal with a difficult topic, Life is Strange too. And it doesn't really connect to the first one. Doesn't really have anything to do with the later one, so you can play it separately if you've never played a Life is Strange game.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our opinions on the rest of Life is Strange on next week's episode.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see if See if how aligned we are with those thoughts. 'Cause that'll
Yeah,
be
I've got.
interesting.
I kind of have the feeling that we might probably be quite aligned on our thoughts about Life is Strange one,
We
but I'm
might
not sure.
be. We
Like,
might be. I
yeah.
streamed every Life is Strange game. So I have the VODs on YouTube. And like sometimes I look back at them and I'm like, yeah, I was still right. I don't care what anybody else says. I was still but we'll see. We'll see. Uh before I officially wrap us up, and I know we're like basically at 2 hours. Any last thoughts for anybody? Hopefully we're not
Um,
leaving the podcast angry.
no.
No.
I will say I was doing some reading on your choiced guest.
Mhm.
They have a bidet company called
Mm.
Swipe.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
I forgot about
yeah.
that.
I'm aware of this. Yeah.
I do have a bidet in the bathroom. Mhm.
Their bidet?
No, not theirs cuz I
Uh,
ain't got that kind of money, but we got a bidet.
this is only like $50.
Ours oh, well, I didn't buy it. I should probably ask.
I
I
too have
think
a
he just
bidet,
heard me and
but
laughed at me. He
I
did.
too have a bidet. And I was like, wait, is that the brand I have? And it's like, no, mine's a little bit more complicated, but did
Mm.
not cost as much as his did.
A good bidet will change your life, though.
I know.
Yeah, I do not have a bidet, but
Angles?
I would absolutely get a bidet. I should get a bidet
You
because
should, when we have him on the podcast, you should ask him for a free bidet so that you could also give a review of the bidet.
yeah, I'm just gonna once this goes up, I'll just at him and be like, by the way, we talk about you a lot. Can I just have a free bidet, please? Thanks.
Like, Ludwig, hook
And
us
also,
up with a
can you
bidet.
like? Although we might not want Ludwig to retweet this episode, considering some of the chat towards the end, because I don't
Nah, fuck
want
it. I
to.
want him to retweet it. Let's
I don't.
go.
I don't want to have to deal with like 700 greasy people sending me hate comments all fucking day. Like,
Hey, let's go.
I don't.
Let's roll.
I don't get enough sleep as it is. Like,
I have the nasty habit of like waking up at like 3, 4 in the morning anyway, and just be like, well, I guess I'll just look at my phone. That's a perfect time
Oh my
to respond
gosh. Are
to
we the
rage
same
beaters.
person? Are we the same
Maybe.
person?
Well, you
I
probably
wake
have a
up because
better reason.
no, my child sleeps through the night.
Oh, well then I don't.
My
Yeah.
child is in school. They're old enough to sleep through the night. Mine is because my husband is either snoring or on
Mm.
top of me as a
Mhm.
heat box,
Mhm.
or I have a cat who's under the covers
Mhm.
as the heat box.
B is like, I don't got to worry about those issues.
no, I still wake up in the middle of the night though. I wake up in the middle of the night because the YouTube that I need to have something on in the background at all
And it
times.
stops.
So, well, it's either stopped or it is rolled over and like just play anything onto something just insane at a completely different volume, and I'm like, "Huh." Like, this isn't just like Lil Aggie played Elden Ring. What the fuck is going on here? Like,
See? And that's why people should follow us on Spotify to have the Spotify playing all day because you can set up Spotify to have it play for hours and hours on end and not go to something crazy. It'll just play you the Girl Pod playlist if you so choose to do that. So since we're back on Spotify, you should follow us on there and we'll put the link in the description also. If you made it this far and you didn't tune out at me rambling about, you know, social justice games and things like that. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to catch the weekly news podcast and find our articles on gamersocialclub.ca. Join the Discord. The link's in the description so you can hang out with us and you can play games and you can help us get V to a high level in Dead by Daylight. I know Steve has even started to put up some game nights, right? So game nights don't just have
Mhm.
to be us. Other people can do that as well. So if you're looking for a new cast of characters to play games with, join us in the Discord. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Tag Ludwig and tell him he should be on this episode because why not? Maybe you got a connection that I don't have. And feel free to leave a comment on something that you think that we did was wonderful or leave us a 5-star review for listening on Spotify. Um, but until next time, have a great day. Enjoy your games out there, even if they might be a little of a hot take. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.